back to Barbecue My Way. We're doing smoked cheeseburgers with guacamole. Let's get at it.
All right, let's start with the guacamole. This is how you cut an avocado. You pierce through the skin. You go around it lengthwise in a circular motion. Now you pop it apart, and you're going to take the knife and slice it into cubes, still inside the skin. And then with the pit on the other side, you're going to whack the knife into that and then kind of turn it clockwise or counterclockwise to pop the pit out. And then you'll do the same thing with the other half. So we're just going to scrape all this into the bowl, and then we're going to kind of mash it up a little bit. We're not going to puree it or make it into a cream. We're just going to mash it up real well. Got a couple of green onions. We're really just going to use the white parts of the onions. We're going to chop them up fairly finely, and then we're going to add that to the bowl as well. And then the next thing, I believe, is the jalapeno pepper. It's going to use a half a pepper. You can vary the heat based on the number of seeds that you decide to use. The more the seeds, the hotter the dish is going to be, because obviously the heat is in the seeds. Do not rub your eyes after cutting this. Liz forgot about it while we were grilling and rubbed her eyes and went screaming into the house as if she was on fire. So don't do that. All right, we're going to chop up the jalapenos. We're going to add that to the bowl that's got already the green onion and the avocado. And that's looking nice and colorful. We are now going to add some lime juice. Nope, cilantro. We're going to chop up some cilantro. I'm thinking it was maybe 2 tablespoons of cilantro, chopped up, fresh cilantro. If you don't like cilantro, you can use parsley. The juice of 1/2 lime for that citrus flavor, and it also keeps the avocado from turning brown, which isn't real appealing when it's time to eat. So add your lime juice. We're now going to add the tomatoes. We use cherry tomatoes here, roughly a cup of cherry tomatoes, about a teaspoon of salt, maybe half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of freshly cracked pepper, and that's it. Just mix it up and then set it in the refrigerator to get it nice and chilled. And now we're going to go to the burgers. I've got about 2.5 pounds of ground beef. I used the 80/20. I used maybe 2 tablespoons of garlic. It comes down to what you want. And I used about a full teaspoon of cayenne red pepper, which adds a little bit of heat, more or less based on what you like from a flavoring. Now you just mix it all up. Sorry about the noise, but hey, this is reality TV. This is very important. Here's how you make a cheeseburger or a hamburger. I like them big, so it's about the size of a baseball. Flatten it out, and then you'll notice that I kind of hollow out the middle. And that's because when it cooks, it pulls itself in. And that's why when people don't do this, you end up eating a meatball on a bun. Voila, there you go. Little salt, kosher salt, and a little pepper for each of the patties. I ended up with maybe 7 nice-sized patties, 8 nice-sized patties out of 2.5 pounds of beef. These were really good, guys. You really have to give this a try. And you'll see the burger takes a little time to grill, but it's worth it. I've got the grill set up on indirect heat, about 3/4 of a chimney of charcoal, and then I've got a piece of hickory that's dividing them, and I put the burgers on the opposite side of the heat and put the lid on, so I'm indirectly heating them up but also smoking them. So I've flipped them after about 15 minutes, and now I'm going to let Video Dave take over here in a second, but you've really got to try these. These are absolutely delicious.
All right, what we did is we took it off indirect heat and we rearranged the coals, put some fresh coals on, put it over direct heat, and we salt and peppered as you saw. And now we're just going to flip them one more time. And remember, when you put the lid back on, it eliminates all the flare-ups. And my wife Liz was complaining about how big these burgers were, but if you'll notice, they are now the perfect size, right, Liz? Right, Liz? Okay, honey.
They look good.
They do look good.
They look
Right, we've kept the hickory.
really good. Really big, really good.
We've left the hickory in there. So we're going to now leave it open for a bit to kind of get a little flame broiled Burger King deal on them.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, and we'll be right back. Sliced cheese. So in a pinch, the shredded will do fine. It's not traditional, but sometimes you just have to improvise, right, Lizzo?
That's right.
These look good. You can actually kind of see that the color of these burgers is just a little different than what you're used to. They almost have kind of a red tint to them, and that's the smokiness that comes through from the indirect cooking and the hickory. So these are going to be really good. And the problem is that everybody's going to expect this burger to be prepared this way from this point forward, and it takes a little time, so I'm a little bummed, but it's worth it. So when we serve it, all right, I love you.
Oh, you mean I put a lot on there?
There you go.